Brent's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavate, grade site prep, Brent is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brent Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrentExcavating.com. They're also hiring. So join the team today. Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go Big Red.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any of that. So call 2-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it's all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435 Henry's Club.
Cozy Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or 1501 Center Park Road.
At first, really intimidated by a ring. I wasn't
with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Sartor Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Sartor Heyman.
Yeah, that was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Cloud cover this morning, even some patchy fog, then becoming partly sunny by this afternoon. We'll see a high of around 74. North winds at around 10. A few passing clouds tonight, a low dropping down to around 50. Mostly sunny and warmer tomorrow. We'll see an afternoon high of 22. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright. 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Yes, it is. Strick and Austin back with you. We called it On the Block yesterday, what Bach and I did for about an hour in between games, but it wasn't really On the Block. You weren't here, Strick. We called it that. Hope you're not offended, but we're glad you're back today.
Not offended at all. Bach's an original member.
True.
So he's like, it's not like he's kicked off the blockhead crew. He's still a blockhead. Bach is all good.
Family's family, right?
Yeah, man. But it's always good to be back in studio with you guys. Great week, great weekend. Surprised mom. She was happy. She was so excited. She had no clue I was in. I popped up on her, and me and my sister kind of had to tell some fibs and kind of play it off a little bit. But yeah, we went in there, had a great time. So that was beautiful to get a chance to surprise her. When I found out we were off that Friday, I just said, let me jump on the plane and go out there and see mom.
That's awesome.
Happy Mother's Day, past, to all the mothers. Shout out to you for all that you do. We know it gets heavy, hard, and sometimes tiresome. So we thank you for all the mothers.
All the mothers that are blockheads, you've dealt with some knuckleheads. We appreciate you. Thank you for keeping them in line. It's awesome. Big shout out Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, sponsoring our show every day. We have it here 2 to 4 weekdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Rico had ribs, Strick. He got ribs.
He went and got the slab.
He did.
We teased him enough that he said, I got to go on out there and see Charles and the crew, and I'm glad he did.
Charles brought him in.
Not disappointed.
Rico ate him up.
Not disappointed at all. So yeah, absolutely.
If you want some for yourself, go check them out tomorrow. They're open through the rest of the week. 402-464-5685. Call or text us if you have any thoughts on anything we're getting into.
A lot of
here
news.
Today. A lot of news.
Where
do you want to start?
Man, listen. First and foremost, a lot of things happened over the weekend. I mean, obviously you got baseball. Hockey's heating up. There's some wonderful playoff games there for the hockey. Some disappointments, obviously for teams like New York and Philly. Philly, being up 3-2, had to go into Boston and do it. I mean, so these are tremendous stories, but surprising things happened as well that we'll get into and we'll talk a little bit about. But I want to jump into Husker news right now. Let's talk some Husker talk, Austin. And one of the things with Husker talk, let's start with the elephant in the room. One of the guys that had been sought after, chased after, a legacy kid, now finds himself in a Georgia Bulldog uniform. Now, that's not always a bad thing. And here's why. Somehow, some way, we're getting an Alabama, Georgia little mini pipeline going.
Right.
So if things don't go good and goes awry down there in Georgia land, in Athens, you never know. There might be a sneaky road with a pipeline that goes from Lincoln to Athens. Mm-hmm. So that's something that we're going to dig into. And I want to ask you about that. What do you think about the commitment? Right thing, right fit. Do you think there's something else to it? Because, they're able to get quarterbacks and there's going to be a competition level at another, top tier. So
it is. I think it makes sense that he committed there. I mean, the two places he's been committed now are Ohio State, which we know what they do with quarterbacks at the college level. We can write off their pro thing for now because we're just thinking about, the next few years at college. We know what Ohio State quarterbacks are under Ryan Day. He was committed there. Dylan Raiola was decommitted, and then he goes to Georgia, who has had an interesting track record at quarterback. They have Matthew Stafford back in the late 2000s, number 1 overall pick, absolute stud in college. Aaron Murray's the one that holds all the passing records, though. Really good college player, didn't do much in the pros. The 5 stars they've had haven't really panned out. You have Justin Fields, who transfers. Jacob Eason wasn't anything at Georgia in his couple years there. JT Daniels didn't do much at Georgia.
What, 5 schools now?
Something like that. Yeah. One for every finger on the hand. So it's not that Georgia, obviously in Stetson Bennett, the most successful Georgia quarterback was a walk-on, elevated to scholarship. So to some degree, maybe Dylan Raiola is the missing piece. Is like, okay, Georgia can finally hang their hat on a quarterback again, but maybe they just don't need that level of quarterback to succeed. It makes sense that he would go there, though. That program right now is the model of college football. I get it. Nick Saban and Alabama are still there. That's still, the model program of the last 15, 20 years, probably 15 years. But right now it's Georgia. Yeah. Georgia is the it program. They're doing it, with defense, with a lot of playmakers. Now, if you have a quarterback that's the number 1 prospect overall, not just the number 1 quarterback, top 10, he's fine. Someone has to be the number 1. No, this is the number 1 prospect in all of high school football. If Mike Bobo and that Georgia staff can help him live up to what his recruiting ranking says he is, that's a game changer. Yeah. Plain and simple it is. So it makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of signs were pointing to Georgia since he decommitted from Ohio State. Credit Nebraska for staying in the race as long as they did. Maybe they were out of it, before we knew, but it seems like Nebraska at least had a non-zero chance, which is a credit to Matt Rule and his staff. For picking up the pieces of a broken recruitment, at least making it somewhat interesting. But this was always the most likely outcome.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I want to throw something out there. Did you see any of the takes? Twitter was going wild on this one.
Shocker.
With your boy, Bryce Young.
I wish Bryce was my boy.
Taking snaps, and they were out there. The memes are
looking like Rico.
The internet is undefeated. They had him out there looking like a Tiny Tim, like he looks like a middle schooler out there. Those are some of the biggest dudes. Like, it's crazy when you look at pro linemen. They're big, but they don't look like the college lineman, thick,
gut.
Yeah, a little gutty. them suckers look like they're in great shape, lean, big, you know? So I can understand why he would look like Tiny Tim out there. I thought it was pretty funny, some of the memes that were coming out. They said he looked like a bobblehead and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy.
Even playing behind an NFL caliber offensive line at Alabama, the difference from a really good college line to what every single offensive lineman looks like in the NFL. Whew.
Yeah, totally different. Let's talk about this then. What is the importance? Does it define Jeff Sims and the importance he is now become? You lose Casey Thompson. You haven't really had an opportunity to see what's going on behind Casey Thompson. Smothers leaves, you know those guys. Purdy not really working out, didn't pan out. So the ones that you thought were there, some with big arms, Torres and stuff like that. But at this point, you got to say Jeff Sims is your guy. What is the importance on him success moving forward in the next few years? They've got to do a great job of training him up because we really don't know what to expect coming in. Are you going to be back do you foresee them being back in the transfer portal or I think they need to recruit somebody, but what's your thought?
Yeah, I think every team in college football is going to be back in the portal, especially Nebraska. The blessing and the curse of a guy like Jeff Sims is that he's a lot like Anthony Richardson. He has more starting experience already than Anthony Richardson does, so there's more tape out there on him, and maybe that, lowers his ceiling a little bit. But say Jeff Sims throws for, 3,000 yards at a 65% completion rate and single-digit interceptions. Strick, he's going to get NFL looks this year. Yeah. After this next season, if that's the stat line he puts up. Again, I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying it's within the realm of possibility. And that means that if he's that good and getting looked at in the second or third round, he's probably gone. So if you're Nebraska, you have to walk a very fine line. You hope he walks a very fine line to where he shows improvement, that he's a good enough get in the transfer portal, that you can feel confident in him being the guy to take you, to, hopefully 2 bowl games, but at least a solid bowl game next year without, just completely raising his stock to the point that he leaves after this year. Because if he leaves after 1 year, Strick, what do you have in the cupboard?
That's what I'm saying.
You have Chubba Purdy, who still looks sped up. The door may or may not be open for Logan Smothers to come back. I don't know if he moves the needle. Heinrich Haarberg hasn't taken a snap at Nebraska, I don't think, as a quarterback. And Jack Woach, who's a freshman walk-on that they just added. The cupboard's bare because you missed out on your 24 guy in Raiola. In pursuing him, you missed out on Kalen. And other guys really won't be committing this late. Unless it's a super developmental type of guy. In that case, if Jeff Sims leaves after this year, you have to be back in the transfer portal for a starting caliber guy, but you also have to get a high school recruit to sit that year to get ready for 2026. The thing about it too, Strick, is that Nebraska's been in the portal for quarterbacks for so long. I get Adrian Martinez was here for 3 years, but before him, he had Tanner Lee. And before that, I guess he had Tommy Armstrong. But it feels like so long since Nebraska's had a true homegrown, developed, all Big Ten caliber quarterback. Adrian had his moments, sure. Tommy Armstrong had his moments, sure. But to me, I would have a lot of confidence in this staff, Strick, if they identify a high school quarterback, develop him for, 2 to 4 good years on campus and keep that going instead of having to dip into the portal every year or two.
Yeah, there's so much uncertainty, and the quarterback position is such a value and a high need that it basically pretty much the success of your team is going to go one of two ways: by way of your quarterback and his leadership and what he can do for your team, as well as a defense, just a staunch defense. Because we saw the success an Iowa team had with no quarterback situation. So if you have a good balance of that, you can have a pretty successful year.
And you don't need your quarterback to be the star. Like in the NFL, the better quarterback you have, the better your team's going to be. I mean, you need pieces around him. But we see in the NFL, the quarterback's the most important position. You can get away with having a pretty good to a just good quarterback instead of an elite quarterback. Right. Because look at, USC. Look at North Carolina. Teams with the probably two best returning quarterbacks in college football this year. USC let down by its defense. UNC maxes out at 9 wins for the most part. In the Big Ten, you can get to 9 or 10 wins with a game manager, kind of Cade McNamara style at Iowa. I think Cade McNamara is the best get Iowa could have had, more than any receiver, more than any offensive lineman, because he raises the floor. He's not going to make mistakes. And you can get away with having a quarterback like that in college.
And a staunch defense.
If you have a staunch defense and playmakers around it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Nebraska is recruiting, is a lot of those playmakers. So if you go get a dynamic quarterback, I think that's, 4 or 5 steps down the road. But develop a competent, consistent quarterback to let everyone else around you shine. And that's really all you need to do.
I have to agree with you on that. 25, 26 quarterbacks. Is there anybody out there that we have our eyes? That's the crazy thing about it. We need to put our eyes on somebody. I mean, because we've missed some local talent that we could have probably had in. Hopefully you stay close to them just in case situations don't work out, that we can maybe have a return. But that's something we've got to do better on, because there's been some tremendous local quarterbacks that have come out of Nebraska over the last 3 to 4 years that we've missed on. They've got to do better at that, making sure that happens.
There's a guy in the 24 class out of Alabama named Kamari McClellan who's uncommitted. I don't know much about him. It's a bummer we didn't get talked to Brian Munson yesterday with state baseball going on. So maybe next week we'll ask Brian about that. But he's there. A guy that Nebraska's had on campus already, Stone Saunders out of Pennsylvania in the 25 class. Right now rated as a 3-star by 24/7 Sports, but a 4-star in the composite. So whoever it is, identify your guy. You can't strike out on a quarterback again, because essentially Jeff Sims is your 2024 quarterback recruit now, and he has to be around in 2025. I get it. There are quarterbacks that go in the portal every year, a lot of good ones, but I just don't like relying on that. I get it's the day and age, but to have to rely on the portal to get a guy, I don't love that, Strick.
Yeah, there's another kid out there that has a great relationship with Coach Marcus Satterfield, and that is Dante Reno out of Cheshire Academy in Connecticut. He is a commit to South Carolina, and he expressed that he was pretty sad that Marcus Satterfield was going to Nebraska. So there's kind of a connection there. The difference between him, he is a traditional quarterback, a pocket passer. He has great touch. He has the ability to use his touch to fit the ball in tight windows. He's one of those guys. And that's one of the things I think somebody like that on the development side of things, as a sophomore, his numbers aren't crazy, moderate, 2,500 yards as a sophomore, but it could get better. Not necessarily an RPO type of quarterback, but being a pocket passer who has the ability to fit tight windows is an important factor when you don't have receivers, which has been a problem at Nebraska in the past, that have been able to create great separation. Now, Trey Palmer was one.
Yes.
I think, let me see who else.
Samori at his moments.
Samori at moments, deep, definitely. Those guys were good, especially at stretching the field, getting out there. But when you need tight windows, you want somebody that can be able to have some zip on the ball, be able to placement is important, all of those things. And this young man seems to have that at a young age. And if he can continue to develop, keep an eye on that guy, Dante Reno.
This coaching staff has really loved the quarterback run game. And I think it's good to have an element of that. But to me, Strick, maybe we touch on this after we take our first break here. A quarterback's first job is always going to be to throw. So I would rather have a pocket base guy that can move a little and not, run your quarterback into the ground and put him at risk to get hurt. That's a good first segment looking at Nebraska football and recruiting. We're going to step aside here for just a second. Plenty of NBA talk on the way and more here on the block.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this summer. Check out their new Keen and Tiva brand sandals for hiking and Olukai sandals for sitting by the pool. Plus, they're stocked up on Hey Dudes to catch you up on the latest shoe fashion. They also have shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solutions. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Hi, I'm Barb Bettine, President and CEO of the Lincoln YMCA. On behalf of the Y, I want to thank you for voting us Lincoln's Choice for Best Youth Sports Programs, Best Youth Activity Programs, and Best Preschool. These categories represent so much of what we do at the Y, and we're honored to serve thousands of families in our community each and every day. Hey, with summer just around the corner, I invite you to stop in to one of our 4 branches and learn how the Y can be a part of your family. The Y Outdoor Pools open May 27th, and we can't wait to see you.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You are so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big Brandt.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, but every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Any better than that? So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off. Mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934. HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Old School with DP and J.
You could say that, I don't mess with the coach. I was asking, do you want to play pro? 99 out of 100 say yeah.
There you go.
If you think that you're going to go to the NFL and you think every coach you play for is going to be hunky-dory with you, don't even play. Let alone flip it. If you think every coach is going to like you sadly mistaken.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Rick and Austin on 97 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to On the Block. He's Strick here in Austin, Orman. 2:30. It's Tuesday. For some of y'all, it's Fat Tuesday. But for us, we got a familiar face, but he will not be on the stream. He's on the Sutter Heyman text line. His name is Terrence Badgett. Terrence Badgett, welcome to On the Block today, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. Appreciate it.
Good, man. Thanks for joining us today, man. A lot of news happened. We had a short On the Block segment. Austin and the Boxster took over and kind of made things happen for a little over an hour. It had some time. But over the weekend, there was some closeout games, a lot of them. A lot of closeout games were happening. Teams were disappointed, especially like Golden State. It was an unexpected thing, but we said let's just start there. We talked about Anthony Davis and, which Anthony Davis is going to show up in this game. LeBron James was absolutely phenomenal, playing 43 minutes, going for 30. But what was crazy about that game was this. You had that team shoot 42 free throws to 14. What's your thoughts on that?
Wow. Yeah.
40. Now you can't tell me that, guys like Wiggins and Thompson and attacking the basket, Curry, he went to the free throw line 14 times. I mean, they did, but I think as a whole, though, I mean, you're talking about 14 free throws to 40. And all I could think about was the Lakers against Sacramento and just how lopsided that was. And do you think there's anything to play off of that? Or was it just a bad night for them shooting 13 for 48 from three and just not getting it done?
I think Lakers was the aggressor. I think that they definitely was, and I think that Golden State just had a bad night. They really did. But in that series, Strickland, how many times did we watch Golden State just come out flat? Automatically, just look like they didn't want to be there. I mean, I think it was twice in that series. I think it was game 3 or game 2 when they came out flat, and then the last game when they just came out flat, looked like they just wasn't there. Klay Thompson, that was the biggest question. Like, what the heck happened to Klay Thompson?
Yeah.
I mean, he just like disappeared. I mean, literally, like he was not there. And then, Steph is such a great player, a competitor. He's still trying to give it. But my opinion that they have to do something different. To belly off what you said, Anthony Davis has to be that Anthony Davis he was in that series. In this series, his main focus is not offense to me; it's more defense. If he can stop Jerkins, if he can stop him, as far as not what I mean by stop is like lessen his points.
Yeah,
because he's going to average a triple double or somewhere close. That's just him.
Yeah,
that's the type of player he is. But if you can get the deflections that the AD was getting, and the shot block attempts, and the deflections, I think they have a chance. But at the same time, if you watch LeBron James had on the old LeBron James shoes. Did you watch that?
Yeah,
that's the second game he wore those shoes, and he had an awesome game. I think people wasn't paying attention to that too, but he is, as they talk about him being the GOAT and all those things, he's not going to be the GOAT. But as far as being an aggressor and playing older as a younger guy in that game, he took it to him.
Yeah.
He really did take it to him. Now, does he have the gas for this one? That's the key.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But overall, I know I'm everywhere, but I just think it's going to be a great series. And, I don't know. I don't think the next thing you hear about is Golden State, because I do not think that Clay will be returning, which is going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
And Draymond Green is already buddy, as you can see with LeBron. I don't think he's going to.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting decision to be made. I think they're going to have to decide on Poole. Is Poole going to be your guy? Because at the end of the day, he's obviously had beef with Draymond. That whole thing needs to be split up at this point. I think you're on the downhill of Klay Thompson. So Klay being your number 2 guy, yeah, you gotta make a decision. You're either going to have to decide on Wiggins, or you're going to have to decide on Poole, I think, at this point as well.
To me,
wow, that's excellent. Yeah, and everything you said too. But how about this though? Could it be a Thompson back in a Lakers uniform? Why not?
Well, that'd be crazy.
If you're the Warriors, do you try to package Klay and Draymond in a deal to get anything back from the Lakers, or do you just let him walk?
Nice, good point. That'll be a great package deal. But the Lakers, they have no problem in staying older. You know what I'm saying? So, how about this? What's the young fellow that came from the Wizards? Who's playing great?
Hachimura.
Yeah. And how about Walker for a package deal to go to State? Plus somebody else. Why not? They got pieces.
That's a good point, Badge. Let's throw this out here, because usually when you have Randall, Brunson, and Barrett are all over 20 points, Jalen Brunson did the doggone thing once again. Didn't shoot the ball from 3 very well, but 32 and 11, solid night. Only 1 turnover too. So let's just be real. He had a solid night, and the 1 turnover was like dang near towards the important parts of the game he had. But check this out. They were doing I saw a clip compilation of Julius Randle. And in a game 7, what was so disappointing to me, I mean, they were like, the fans was writing on his mural, and they were saying, trade him now. And they showed a compilation of just the effort. And I was disappointed, because I played in New York, and I know they're kind of blue collar, like, they want you to be gritty and hustle and grind. And Julius Randle was just kind of haphazardly covering. His rotations at sometimes were terrible. Guys were getting open looks. He was getting outworked for rebounds. And in a game 7, there's no tomorrow, my boy. That was what was more disappointing about the whole thing with him. Does he stay, or are they going to have to? Are they going to bow down to the mob, the New York mob and media, and move him on?
I think Randall's over it. He's tired of New York. I would be. I mean, every year there's a complaint about him.
Mm-hmm.
He is the scapegoat. And he's a strong player. He plays hard, but at the end of the day, I mean, he's constantly. You can see it wear on his face. Constantly criticized. Constantly. Yeah, he did. You're right, Strickland. He totally did play lackadaisical and didn't give 100% effort. But at the same time, too, it's like every day, everything falls on him.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Everything falls on him, but he's the motor that they have. You know what I'm saying? He's the engine. Because if he don't go, then they don't go. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what New York needs. To me, they have no veterans. They need some veterans. And it's crazy because you see in the game, all you saw was vets around on the sideline. All the old vets, Starks, Larry Johnson. I mean, you had all the vets around watching the game. But as far as there's vets in their their locker room, they don't have it.
Right.
They don't have any vets. And that's where I think a lot of these teams are falling short of being successful and contenders and going forward, because there's no veteran leadership in there. There's no veteran leadership or no winning spirit or winning attitude from other people who have won the championship. They don't have it. So they don't have that DNA to understand, where they are and how serious it is.
Got you.
To that point on Randall, to me, I don't want to blame effort. I also don't want to blame Coach Thibodeau, but we've heard that about his teams before. He'll play his starters super long, 77 regular season games, 35.5 minutes per game, a long playoff series round 1, and then a physical series against the Heat round 2. I don't want to blame Julius Randle's effort when he played so many minutes that year.
Mm-hmm.
Does some of that fall back on, Coach Thibodeau and the way he runs things, or is that just more the Nick Seton needs someone to step up around him so he has juice for the semis and beyond?
Yeah, you know what's crazy too about that? You're right on point. Thibodeau too is a great coach, but at the same time, he'll wear you down. And at the same time, you ever see his body language? He's straight. Every time you make a bad move, it's like, come on. Oh, come on. You can't see that from a coach. How you gonna believe in a coach and a coach believe in you? He complains so much when they make a mistake, and then he'll take you right out. But at the same time, too, it's not all Randall's fault. A lot of it, I think, is coaching as well, and then a lot of it is like you got to put better parts together. I mean, I know that Brunson and they play together in college. That's not a fit for the league.
Right.
They need to separate.
Right.
I know they're part of the New York or Villanova and all that. It's time to break that up.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, Hart is gone. He's okay. He's lucky to still be in the league. He's not that. He's okay, but he's not fit for that team. I'm sorry. He's just not. He didn't show up more than a few times. Brunson is the key that'll make it go. He learned a lot in this series, which is great because he's going to be better because he shows that he wants to get better every year. But their centerpiece, get rid of him. He's terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to find some other veteran pieces and some other leadership around in order for them to be great. But I think that Randall's gone. I'll be honest.
Let's real quick. When we talk about Thibodeau, part of the issue also goes with he comes from the Van Gundy crew, and that's one of the issues that Van Gundy used to have, in that he would wear down. He was only going to play 6-7 guys, max, and he would wear the team down. By the time 82 games is done, you get into the playoffs and you just can't make those long runs. Allen Houston's on bad knees. LJ's elderly. We had Spreewell. And then you had Charlie and Chris Childs. And then every now and then I'd get in there or periodically. But there really was 6-7 guys. I mean, that's where he wears them down. And I think you're right. You guys are right in that can become a problem late in when you're going through these series. It makes a difference. Let's shift and give it the last. Embiid, MVP, when it counts, didn't show. Harden, talk about we need you more than dang near anything, no show. Very just balanced game for the most part. Most guys just didn't show up at all. Harris, solid, led the team. Good balance, but just not enough. Freaking 37% from the field, 21 from 3. But I tell you, Jason Tatum said, close your mouth and your funky ass, boy, because he said, I'm giving all the smoke. 51 bag, 6 for 10 from 3, 13 rebounds. It was on his shoulders. He took it and got help from Brown. Talk about Tatum right there.
Now, Tatum from game 6 to game 7. Now, you talk about you know what was the greatest thing when he admitted it after game 6, that he was the star. That was like the best thing. Yes, you are. He had 1, 2, 3 quarters of terribleness. 4th quarter of game 6, awesome.
Yeah.
Then took that same energy and came in and busted their head. and you know, he was just awesome, and he's exciting to see. You know what I'm saying? He's exciting, and you can see the joy and love he has for the game. That is a witness. It kind of reminds me, Strick. I'm not just saying you because you're boy, but that's how the love you had when it came to defending and playing offense. To touch on the Embiid, the worst thing that happened in the NBA was the guy, what's his name, from the Minnesota Timberwolves winning the 3-point contest. Because sinners think they can shoot a 3-point now.
Right.
They can't. If he would have got his butt on the block, there's no one that can stop him on the block.
Yeah.
He's the Dirkich. If he would have got on the block, but he kept on staying out there running that dumb pick, and they was easily defending it, and he kept trying to shoot the three. And turning the ball over. That was the key. Harden didn't. Now, to Harden defense, how could he have some room to penetrate when big man is out there with him?
Right.
He didn't have room.
No room. Yeah, I feel you. And the crazy thing though, is I really do look at Doc Rivers. I thought it was time. He got that happened today. We ain't gonna be able to get deep into it. We'll talk more about it another time. But Doc Rivers and Monty Williams, it just goes to show you that it's definitely Janet Jackson out here. What have you done for me lately?
That's true.
Seems Doc Rivers was living off the 2008 championship. He was riding off of it. Rick Carlisle was another one that had a good run off of that 2011 championship in Dallas. But Monty Williams, it's something to that. Whether Durant got involved, there's something to it. But I feel bad for them. They'll find their way. They'll find their way. Last thing, what's your expectation? What's your thoughts on both of the conference finals, and who do you like? Before we let you go,
okay, I really think that the Lakers will play Boston for the championship. I'm sorry. That's just my feeling. I think the Lakers have enough to beat Denver, and if they play like they have, and the thing about what I see with the Lakers is LeBron is one thing they're good at. He's good at getting them to jail. All of them, they have a bench, and they have young players that can match up with Denver. If AD does what he's supposed to, then they will win. I think that Boston owns Miami. You can't. There's a 1-2 punch that's unstoppable. It's either Tatum or Brown, and then they got the bench players. So I really think that Boston continues to own Miami, and then I feel like when it comes to the Lakers versus Boston, I really feel like Boston will come out victorious just for the first time. That's just my thought.
Sounds good. Badge, thank you once again for joining us on the block, man, with your take. We appreciate it, and we hope to hear from you another time.
All right, man, bro. Appreciate it.
All right. Terrence Badger, there he is, my teammate, my roommate. It's always good to hear from him. Sometimes we'll sit around, just be having conversations, just in a bar watching games, and we be chopping it up. So it's good to have him to join us on the block to have a good conversation about it, like we always do otherwise. But we've got to take a quick break. Shootout with Strick is going to be next. We'll get you on the other side. Call in 402-464-5685. Shootout with Strick is next.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they feed you a plate, at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Spring is here, and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkler coverage. The Judson Irrigation team for you. Safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beers, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcome animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batstoRats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Hi, this is Becky from Midwest Bank, and our team is here for you. From our friendly staff to our innovative products to our online banking and mobile app, all of our services are designed with you in mind. We'll help you open a checking account, apply for a loan, open a credit card, or start saving for the future. We do it all. We're your local community bank, a trusted partner that's here to serve you. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up this menu. Stop in at the Mercado today, 84th and Havelock, or visit their website.
We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Cloud cover this morning, even some patchy fog, then becoming partly sunny by this afternoon. We'll see a high of around 74, north winds at around 10. A few passing clouds tonight, a low dropping down to around 50, mostly sunny and warmer tomorrow. We'll see an afternoon high of 82. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
That's right. Jump in now to play the shootout with Strick. Don't forget, we're just going to be doing this 2 times a week to make the prize a little bit better for you. Not just $15, but $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings on the line. That's date nights.
30.
30.
Yeah, that's 15-15, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you and your girl can get a nice appetizer, and the beer won't be on us, but it'll be on you.
That it will. So again, date night at Buffalo Wings and Rings, brought to you by, well, obviously Buffalo Wings and Rings here on Shootout with Strick. Again, the number 402-464-5685. The topic today, NBA Draft Lottery, because that's tonight, Stricky. And we're going to get into that more next hour. Who needs to win it? Who needs Victor Wembanyama the most? So that'll be coming up in hour number 2. But while we wait for a contestant, I saw this over the break. I showed you. I feel like we need to bring this up at the Blockheads. There was a LeBron James fan in Illinois who went to a barber, sat there for 2 hours to get LeBron's face shaved into the back of his head.
That's wild. Let me just say that. I haven't spent that many hours in a chair. Can you believe this? Stricky used to have braids.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. Yeah.
Back in 2000, when I was with the Knicks, I decided to grow it out. And I said, I'm going to do a little something different. Had a great person, took care of it up there. But then when I got finished there, went to LA, had somebody. But then when I was about to go to Boston, I didn't have nobody I knew that could take care of them. So I just said, let's cut it off. And I went back to the shorty doo-wop. But, yeah, that's crazy. But the detail, I saw the picture. The detail is phenomenal.
Given what it could have looked like, I mean, that's surprisingly not bad.
That's surprisingly pretty dope. Like that, I mean, it's crazy because it's got the wrinkles in the forehead. It's got all the, just the little shadings of the face. It's actually pretty dope. I thought it might have been a tattoo. I was like, there's no way they could have did that in somebody's. I didn't think you could cut it in the hair.
I'm with you. I thought it was at least partially tattoo at first because the bottom of the hair is the beard.
Yeah.
And it fits in pretty perfectly there. You can't really see it in the reflection with the light on.
Like, how did he do the shading of the lips and the little mustache? And that's just crazy to me. But art, man, listen, art is next level these days. I mean, the artistry, the vision, the things that people can see and put on paper. I'm just so proud my daughter got accepted to a magnet school for like art.
Ooh, congrats to her.
Yeah,
that's
down
awesome.
in Miami. You have to be invited in. It's 350 is a waiting list, probably as long as trying to drive from Lincoln to Gretna. And but she was able to get in, and so, but it's for art, it's for I mean, it's crazy the stuff. I think back at this, Austin, and I'm reminded of when I went to high school. We used to have trades. You could learn construction. We had to build, do the lighting, do the siding. We built like a mini half house. That was part of our classwork.
Wow.
Right. Then you had shop where you could go and work on cars. You can learn the trade. And then they had welding. They had all kinds of little things you can learn in the school, which is no longer the case. It's just kind of like it's booked. And it's crazy when I used to watch my kids go through school. I'm like, yo, you got homework? Where's your books? Like, we had to carry them books home. We had to read. We had to get in it. We had to study. They're in my locker. Where's your homework?
A lot of good
they
they're
do
doing
the work
there.
in school. Like, it's crazy to me. But this school, Austin, when I tell you, I saw it was like they had a news piece about the school that my daughter's going to go to. They're teaching doctors biology on it's a big table, like as long as our table in here. And the video screen shows a body laying on it, and you can move around, change it to see all of the skeletal systems, how the blood is moving through. You're doing stuff like that.
That's like Iron Man.
It's crazy.
Wow.
The technology in this school, in some of these schools, like I hate that a lot of kids don't get the benefit of having the opportunity to tap into those type of specialties that are out there, because
fund the education system, people.
Man, it's so needed. And I was teaching in I did some teaching. I was teaching in special ed, and it got to a point to where I felt that we're doing the kids a disservice. We weren't they're really not being taught to grow, to critical think anymore. Like they're just taught to do the work. It's like we're creating like mini zombies.
Again, you're studying for the test, not to gain the knowledge.
Yes.
And what's the point?
Yes. You're just studying to do and not to think and process, and you know what I mean? And I think I used to get in trouble a lot, Austin. Like I just was a different kid. I used to get in trouble. Like I'm so different a kid that when I was 17, 18, my junior, senior year, I was actually looking at collective bargaining agreements. So I can make an informed decision on which pathway I wanted to take. As I was looking at football, as I was looking at the career, you know, the longevity, when I was looking at how good their associations are, you know, I started looking at all those things, and that's how I really kind of came to the conclusion that it was going to either be baseball or basketball. Basketball just had a more love for, more passion for, and it ended up working in that favor. And listen, the collective bargaining agreements and the Players Association stuff, yes. I mean, our retirement stuff, and I've got free healthcare for the rest of my life. Free? Man, surgeries I've had and stuff, man, shoot. Thank you. I made the right decision, I think. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I can't judge for you. Only you can say if you made the right decision or not. But from the outside looking in, yes, good decision.
Yeah.
Good decision.
Yeah.
No contestant today, so we are going to still ask the tiebreaker question to give away the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Strick will guess a number. First person in with over or under this number will win the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. All right, Strick. The Clippers have won the NBA draft lottery the most times of any franchise in NBA history. It dates back to 1985. How many times have the Clippers won the NBA draft lottery? 1985 was the first year. Patrick Ewing, the first number 1 overall pick in the lottery system. Frozen envelope as Rico pumps his fist.
They had the most.
The Clippers have the most. How many times have they won it?
9.
Okay, 9 is the number. Text line over, under that answer. First person in with the right answer gets the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Plenty more NBA talk, including some lottery discussion on the other side here as we get into hour 2 on the block.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings, nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing it with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this summer. Check out their new Keen and Tiva brand sandals for hiking and Olukai sandals for sitting by the pool. Plus, they're stocked up on Hey Dudes to catch you up on the latest shoe fashion. They also have shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln.
Hi, this is Becky from Midwest Bank, and our team is here for you. From our friendly staff to our innovative products to our online banking and mobile app, all of our services are designed with you in mind. We'll help you open a checking account, apply for a loan, open a credit card, or start saving for the future. We do it all. We're your local community bank, a trusted partner that's here to serve you. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Nebraska's favorite vape shop.
Generation V.
Providing friendly, personalized service and the largest selection of vaporizers and e-liquid flavors in the state.
Generation V.
Generation V will beat or match any local competitor's price. With a huge selection, great service, and the lowest prices, Generation V is your one-stop shop for all your vaping needs.
Generation V.
With 4 Lincoln locations, visit us on the web at generationv.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to earn this award. And I want all of our customers, it's not just earned by one person's effort, it's the entire dealership. Sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 22, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories about it every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is on the block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Rick Austin.
It is a heavy NBA hour to end out your, I guess, in-studio content for the day here at 93.7 The Ticket. We've got a couple baseball games tonight. Nick Sainert on the call from Tal Anderson Field. That's where the Class A action is. We'll send it out to Nick when we're done here at just about 4 o'clock Central Time. But we're talking basketball here this hour. A lot going on in the NBA. Next segment, we'll get into the NBA Draft Lottery, which is tonight. Which teams do we want to see win it? Which teams don't deserve it? Who needs Wemby the worst? We'll get into all that. But this first segment,
Pow Jaw.
Pow.
Ja
Right.
Morant. We got to talk about Pow Jaw. My gosh. Again.
Let's thank Mary Ellen's.
Yes.
You guys are great. Charles, you're awesome. Go off on Ja.
My goodness. The most idiotic thing, I think, you were in line for an all NBA, which sets you in line for a super max contract.
Mm-hmm.
Down the drain. 39 million tickets down the drain. You might lose Nike. And your boy tried to save you, but you were still so idiotic that it's below your waistband. You pull it up. Your boy shines a light, quickly tries to get away, but the internet, that thing is undefeated. I just think it seems to me that, and this is something when I used to go speak at the symposiums for the NBA, one thing it seems to me is for certain, and it's getting worse, is that young men, young women of the day seem to feel as though they have a Samson syndrome. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about that they're invincible and nothing can touch them.
You're handcuffed behind your back, everything, everything you think you can get out of, every situation, you just feel like it's not going to touch you, not going to be a part of any problems for you. You're going to get through it. And then when you get through it, it's a humbling moment. But man, you ain't even months out of what happened. You right back into the same category. Corporate businesses are not going to touch you. You missed that back. Why do you think LeBron is teetering on being a billionaire? Because of the fact he kept his nose clean.
Mm-hmm.
He does what he's supposed to do. He handles business, and he surrounded himself with a team that watches out for him. They're kind of gatekeepers, and that's part of their job. Ja don't have no gatekeepers. He doesn't have no gatekeepers. One of my boys' best friend, Jay Stedman, he's coaching down in Rio Grande Valley. When I played for the Mavericks, Jay was my gatekeeper. When it came to mail, stuff that was being sent to me, people that wanted to meet with me. I had another one too. Rick Riley, he was one of the gatekeepers. Then my dad. So I had like 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever it was time for somebody to deal with me, or his observations on top of mine, because I'm very observant. Whenever I'm somewhere, I'm watching, I'm seeing, projecting the scene, seeing what's popping. And then if it gets kind of funny style, I'm out. But Jay would always come over at certain times and he'd say, it's time to move around. Because he could see stuff is starting to kind of congregate, meander around me. And, when you're good in the community, when you're good to people, one of the other things that was noticed, if anything ever popped up, some brothers that I had just known in the community and just got to know, and if you humble yourself and you treat everybody with respect, they would always come up to me, Strick, you good? You need anything? You all right? Yeah, I'm good. You can do that. You don't have to show. Because now if somebody won't smoke with you, they gonna test you. So to me, I think it's just it's bad all the way around. I think, listen, you know the discount that the next team's gonna get if it's not Memphis Grizzlies, whoever it is, somebody's about to get a big discount because like, right now if anything, you should have been watching Mikal Bridges. Now, is it Mikal Bridges? No,
Miles Bridges.
Miles Bridges. If anything, you should have been watching the Miles Bridges situation. Got the lean, all the stuff. You know, you doing all this stuff on your Instagram. You should have saw what happened in that situation and been able to apply it. But Samson syndrome kicks in, my boy.
It's unfortunate because this is a guy that's positioned to be one of the faces of the league for a decade to come. To me, Strick, it's short-sighted. You know, and I'm not saying that Ja Morant is helpless or he's beyond reach, but you would think that suspending him like they did, all the backlash, that someone in his circle, anyone would say, hey, let's maybe not.
Yeah.
I hope this is just immaturity. I hope this is just a guy with his first taste of, you know, huge fame and fortune, and that he's actually going to learn from this. Because he's already had 2 strikes with this policy alone. I hope there's someone, whether it's in the Grizzlies front office, on the Grizzlies team, a fellow NBA player that he's run into, or even just someone in the community that says, young man, take a step back. I get it. In the moment, this seems cool. It seems like the thing to do. You seem like you're living your best life. You're not. Okay? There's a bigger picture. Don't just think about now. Think about 10 years down the line. Think about 15, 20 years down the line. Because it's one thing to live in the moment and enjoy, you know, your fame and your success when you have it. It's another to have not just yourself, but think about Ja's daughter. You know, he has a young daughter.
Yeah.
She's adorable. You know, they had some awesome moments his first couple of years in the league with her, you know, running up to him on the court and that sort of stuff. Think about her, setting her up for success. If you get tied up with the wrong people, how fast could that go away?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so much more on the table. I mean, yes, so much for Ja Morant, but the people around him too, the ones he's supposed to be closest to, he's hurting them as well.
That's what I'm talking about. The team, Austin, you're so on point. And here's the crazy, here's a crazy dynamic. Lorenzen Wright, top NBA player, drafted, you know,
in Memphis.
From there, his own city murked him. See that? Then you got Young Dolph, rapper. I don't really too much. I mean, I've heard his music. I'm not, you know, really, into the music. But from there, in the community, does stuff for the community, goes in there to a donut shop that he loves when he's home, comes out, city took him down. Ja, if you keep playing with fire, sooner or later, someone's going to test you.
And if you're lucky, it'll be like Paul Pierce. If you're not lucky, you're Lorenzen Wright.
Lorenzen Wright. That's what I'm saying. So that's the danger of this whole thing, unfortunately. I wanted to toss it back to you on the Doc Rivers firing. Do you think he hasn't get another shot right away?
I think he should. I think Doc Rivers is a really good coach. Doc Rivers, though, has huge shortcomings in the largest moments. And again, to some degree, it's unfair to pin everything on Doc. I mean, think about, Strick, what we heard before Game 6 of this recent series. We heard Joe Mazzulla in Boston say, on the day of the game, we're going to go with the 2 big lineup. We're going to start Robert Williams and Al Horford in the same lineup. What did we hear from Doc in the pregame presser? Oh, yeah, we practiced for that. He knew that adjustment was coming. Boston was just better, those 2 games. Embiid and Harden didn't rise to the occasion like they needed to.
Yeah.
So Doc Rivers clearly has the basketball mind. He has the regular season results. But you brought up a great point, and I had to look up the tweet to make sure I got this right. Strick, Doc Rivers has lost 7 series. His teams have been up 3-1 or 3-2.
That's crazy.
7.
That's crazy. You get to the brink, you're looking over the cliff, you're about to dive in, and then you get the string pulled out. The Sixers alone in Embiid's career have been 5-6. But here's a number for Philly. They're 0-4 against teams that have 50 wins. Rivers, in his coaching career, he gets credited for a lot, but he's 17-33 in games that would allow his team. So you're on it. That would allow his team to clinch a playoff series. He's 17-33. It's almost 50%.
Well, 33%.
Right?
Essentially, yeah.
Essentially, right?
Yeah.
6-10 in game 7s. So I think there's opportunities for him. My issue that I'm going to throw to you before we get into other aspects, what team do you think? Because you know he can't go back to the Clippers. That's not going to happen.
No.
I think Brooklyn's good. You got Toronto. Where do you think would be a good fit for a Doc Rivers at this point?
I'll answer it, and then I'm going to flip it around to you in a slightly different way. For me, I wouldn't hate Doc in Milwaukee with Giannis. I think that could be an interesting pairing.
Negative.
I don't know if I love it.
No.
Doc,
love it.
Doc in Toronto, if you want to raise your floor, again, I think Doc is a floor raiser. I don't know what he does for your ceiling, but I think Doc is a really good, consistent regular season coach. So as I look at the teams with openings, who needs, to raise that floor? Who needs to take that next step? I don't know. I really don't. I mean, there should be an NBA job out there for Doc Rivers. I wouldn't hate him in New Orleans. I really wouldn't.
I would say I would look more there. I think there's a guy for Milwaukee that's already connected, great relationships with the players, played there. And to me, I think Sam Cassell would be a good fit for them.
I like
that. Just he's already connected. The guys like him. I think that relationship would fit more than I think with a Doc. But I'm just throwing spitball in.
I like it.
But go ahead. You had something for me.
The question I would flip around to you is, which opening is the best? Is it Milwaukee? Is it Phoenix? Is it Philadelphia? Is it Toronto? Just overall, which is the best?
Okay. I'm going to start here. I'm going to do a few caveats. You've got an MVP candidate there. You have a guy that's willing to relinquish some of the spotlight in Tobias Harris. You're probably going to have to, now you're going to lose Harden. You're going to have to tap in on Tyrese Maxey. Is that enough? That's what you're going to have to ask yourself. Is that enough for what you've got in the Eastern Conference? Because you got to remember, you've got a Cleveland team that's still
coming
on the raise. You've got a Brooklyn team that hasn't spent time together. They add a piece or two, dangerous. You've got New York. Now, whether they keep him or not, New York is still going to be a relevant situation, I think, with Jalen Brunson leading that squad. Atlanta is still not bad. You've got Miami that's got the same squad. They're not going nowhere.
No.
Few additions in the front court, I think, raise them up another level. I think it's dangerous in the West, in the East, because of those situations.
Well, in Milwaukee and Boston. It would have been better than you the last 3 years.
Exactly. So I think the better situation to me is Milwaukee. They're gonna have to move some guys. I mean, they've got the same guys. They haven't been able to break through. They're gonna have to lure somebody there. Who that is, I think they've got to move on from the big fella. They got
Lopez.
They got to. It's got to be either Middleton or Lopez. They can't do both, and that's unfortunate. I think Brook Lopez is somebody that's been good for them because now he's a consistent stretch type of guy. But they've got to figure that out. I still think they need a guy at the guard position with a more dog mentality. I love what Drew does defensively. I just don't think he has that attack, go get it when they need another body to do that. Like, if he was more like if he was more like Tyrese Maxey to me, I would be, comfortable with him, right? So I don't like the Phoenix situation. I think they're I think their coffers are drained. It's going to depend on what they're able to acquire with Chris Paul gone.
Because he gone.
Yeah, that's going to be the deciding factor, I think, in that situation, how that situation looks, because they drain their coffers. They don't have depth. They don't have a center. And out there, you got to deal with the Joker. You got to deal with Anthony Davis. You've got to deal with Sabonis.
Karl Anthony Towns when he's engaged.
So yeah, talk. Miss me with that one. They're in trouble. Aiden's got to go though. But
at this point,
they don't have enough front court help. Can they get enough? I don't know. There might be some money available there. It just, but what type of center can you get? Now, unless somebody becomes available in the draft, you're going to develop them up and work it through that method.
Speaking of acquisitions for Phoenix, after Matt Ishbia fires Monty Williams, who had a fantastic run as the Suns coach.
Did he do some? He came in and shook some things up.
Did he ever? He's the one that pushed for the Durant trade, and he kind of went over James Jones's head in getting rid of Monty Williams. Monty Williams is going to find another basketball
Facts.
job.
There's no question. He's good. He's good.
But the first person
I could actually see him in Philly.
Ooh.
I could actually see Monty in Philly.
Okay.
Like a Monty in Philly, I think works.
I like that.
That's just me.
The first target I saw for the Suns, Strick, Nebraska's own Tyronn Lue.
I like T. Lue down there.
Is that a better situation for him than the Clippers, though?
He just does not have his guys available when he needs them.
Correct.
But without having them, he's done a tremendous job of still being relevant and winning games.
Mm-hmm.
What he was able to do and get Westbrook to do without those guys, I give credit to him because nobody else was able to do it. Now, listen, I've got to give credit too. I'm going to give big credit to Darvin Ham.
Mm-hmm.
He took the brunt of it. He figured it out, got the guys playing at another level.
Mm-hmm.
That series is going to depend on how well Anthony Davis consistently plays. And he's probably the only one that I think has the capability, if his mind is right, to handle Joker.
Sure.
With his feet, length, I think he has that ability, but we'll see. Now, mind you, Denver's got home court. This ain't the bubble.
It ain't.
They got to go in that rare air. And LeBron ain't young, and a few of them ain't young.
Just played, 38 minutes in a closeout game?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they got to deal with that rare air. So I like what's going on there. I would love Tyronn in a Phoenix. I think that's a good opportunity. It sounds like they're looking into it, seeing how they can make that happen. I don't know who would take Toronto job. We talked about your boy, because he's JJ Redick.
Okay.
He's a dookie, your boy. We talked about JJ Redick looking up there, but there's going to be a shuffle. I think Budenholzer, he might be the one that goes in Toronto, possibly. I think there's still some shuffles to be made. I still think there's some good coaches out there. I think Sam Cassell is one of them. I also think Nick Van Exel is one of them.
I heard Caron Butler thrown out for the Bucks job too.
Yeah, Caron is solid. I mean, Caron he's been around. He's been around the block. I like it. Whether it be the Bucks, I don't know. I just don't know how that would fit for me. But just throw it out.
Speaking of fit, Victor Wembanyama is fitting into a lot of teams' plans. 14 teams hoping to be able to have the first overall pick, the first chance to snag the 7'4" French prospect. The draft lottery is tonight. Let's get into that in the next segment. Who needs him worse?
We'll bring Cluster and we'll talk about that with Cluster Johnson.
There we go. Cluster Johnson talking NBA draft lottery and more on the other side.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler or for yourself and your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality slightly to gently, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always in products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey, CNC machinists, do you feel like you're in a dead-end job with your boss hovering over your shoulder? That's so annoying. Not at Garner Industries. We provide the opportunity and trust our CNC machinists to bring the talent. I'm Bob Williams, HR Director at Garner Industries, and we're looking for new team members in our CNC department. At Garner Industries, you'll work in a clean, climate-controlled, and safe environment with team members who want to see you succeed. You will also enjoy 4-day work weeks, great benefits, and a positive working culture. Interested? Apply on our career page at garnerindustries.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Cloud cover this morning, some patchy fog, then becoming partly sunny by this afternoon. We'll see a high of around 74. North winds at around 10. A few passing clouds tonight, a low dropping down to around 50. Mostly sunny and warmer tomorrow. We'll see an afternoon high of 82. I'm meteorologist Tim for 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Hey, this is former Husker and motivational speaker Ricky C. Simmons. Some kids worry about making the team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, over 3,000 kids are at risk of homelessness. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids, and on Give to Lincoln Day on Wednesday, May 24th, your gift goes even further. Go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln kids today.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Let's say he struggles first year. Year 2, if he wants to transfer, do we allow him back?
Oh, yeah.
What?
It's not a question, Vershawn.
Yeah. Do you allow him back?
With open arms. Could be a corn dog.
Are you kidding me
Could
right
be
now?
a corn dog.
Really?
Why not?
No.
Yes.
That's what's wrong with us. This guy, guy. Gotta be smart playing quarterback.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with your hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products, design experiences with cheeses, spices. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today. Located in our Venue store at 70th and Pioneers, doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes action to provide you with the highest quality roofing service. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. Adding your too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Dive into good times and great savings when you take advantage of the above-ground swimming pool sale happening now at Bonzall Pool & Spa. All in-stock swimming pools are 50% off through the end of May while supplies last. You don't want to miss out. Visit our showroom.
And grandpa, mom and dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation repair, just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to On the Block. Strick here and Austin Orman. We are on the block. Blockheads out there, we thank you. Sauter Heyman text line is always open to you. Mary Ellen's is the one that supplies all of the food and all of the lovely meals that you can find up there on 27th and Pine Lake. You can always go up there. It is not time, but Wednesday is the time to find your way out to Mary Ellen's to have a wonderful meal. Ask our boy Rico, who happened to go out there.
He is actually our boy, too.
He's our boy. Joining us on the block right now is a longtime member of the block, two-time national champion, friend of the show, and friend of mine and yours, Clester Johnson. How are you today?
I'm doing quite well. It's starting to feel a little bit more like summer. Like I say, I need that vitamin D to hit this skin to turn on my happy juices. So I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Couple of topics out there. One that we want to really kind of get into because we got about a good 10 minutes here before we have to get out to state baseball on the show. But I wanted to throw this one out at you. The draft lottery is coming up, and there's a young man, potential unicorn. We've seen one that we haven't been able to see now for a minute. That's Chet Holmgren. We don't know what's going on in the situation and how that's going to pan out, but ultimately there's one that they saying is on the way, and he's built different, and we're going to see soon. Somebody's going to win this sweepstakes. If you are a betting man, or if you were a man who had a vision for this type of unicorn, his style of play, where do you think would be the best fit for him, for the ones that have the best opportunity to win him in this lottery? Victor Wembanyama.
Well, first of all, congratulations to the young man. And I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's such a crazy long name. Do you know how to pronounce it?
Victor Wembanyama.
Wembanyama. Okay, that's what I thought. Now, I would, when you look at the new NBA, when I say the new NBA, traditionally how we grew up, you would see a guy of his stature, sort of like a Ralph Sampson. Like he reminds me of like Ralph Sampson, but with handles and can shoot. Where I see him is obviously someone who can pass and shoot if he needs to. He seems to be able to have those type of skills. Now, where he's going to land, that is the question. Who and what market? Because that's really what it comes down to. I feel like for people who really want to elevate their brand, I feel like sometimes it becomes about brand or basketball. Now, if it's a basketball, I don't think he cares where he wants to play, but obviously when it comes to branding, you got 3 or 4 markets where he's probably going to try to fight to get to, and then it just comes down to, dollars and cents. Obviously you got New York, you got LA, you got Houston, who needs a lot of help. Houston needs a lot of help. Then you got, obviously, some of these teams with the great weather, LA, Miami, New York. The one that would probably need him the most at this point would be a Houston. But it sounds like James Harden wants to get back to Houston. Other than that, Minnesota, they got a nice young nucleus. Milwaukee, obviously, they got Giannis. I don't see him going to a place like San Antonio. So, I mean, really what it comes down to, I mean, the place that looks like where he would go is probably Houston. And Houston's probably going to be the first pick this year, possibly, right?
Yeah, they've got I think the best chance to win the lottery, but we've seen some crazier things that have happened where people with 4% chances and stuff like that have actually won the lottery. So it's not a guarantee, but they've got the most balls and the opportunity. Let's just say that to land it.
Yes. So it's going to be interesting. I would just like to see. I want to see these young players come in and really focus on becoming a great player versus, all the endorsements and stuff. I mean, I know it's a big deal in the grand scheme of life, but my belief is if you come in and put in the work and ball, that stuff just come naturally.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at some of those old school players, and to me that doesn't change. Like I got to bring up Jordan, obviously my all-time favorite athlete. I feel Jordan, it was winning and playing ball and working on his skills over everything else.
Yeah.
And when he got to that level where all these endorsers wanted him, he had already kind of had a habit of what, like I heard for him, like there were certain times of the year where he just wasn't doing anything, but except focus on basketball. So hopefully this guy, when he comes over, he has good people around him, and that, he'll be able to focus on just getting better.
Cluster, you mentioned, having good people around you, just focusing on basketball. One guy that's in the news for essentially the opposite reasons, not focusing on basketball and having a bad circle, Ja Morant. What do you make of everything going on with that situation?
Oh man, that's interesting. And here's the crazy thing. A lot of people don't realize I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I grew up and I moved to Nebraska when I got to high school. My freshman year is when I got to Nebraska. So I understand the elements of what he's going through. Memphis is one of those places where, and unfortunately, you have elements that are glorified. And if you don't have a good stable of people who can talk to you, and when I say talk to you, tell you, no, we're not in this. No, we can't do this. Or somebody that you trust and that you're going to listen to and say, man, listen, we got an opportunity here to go to a whole nother level of life for generations to come.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do this. Let's do this. And when you don't have people around you that can do that because they're afraid that you're going to say, hey, listen, I don't want you around me. I understand the guy 3 wants to have a good time, but there are plenty of examples of people who have been in the NBA that are that age and have never gotten caught up in that situation. So to me, it's people around him that need to put their foot down and just say, hey, man, listen, we're going to do this different.
Yeah, quick on this one because we've got to get over to state basketball. But I wanted to throw this. Doc Rivers obviously just released from the Sixers as their head coach. This is just an interesting number. 2003, he blew a 3-1 lead. 2009, Clay Tonya John, thank you on the Sauter Heyman text line for this. 2009, 2 lead. 2010, 1 year later, he blew another 3-2 lead. 2012, blew a 3-2 lead. 2015, blew a 3-1 lead. 2016, 1 year later, a 2-0 lead. 2017, a 2-1. 2003, 1. 21-3-2 and a 23-3-2. It's just like my boy. You ever played that game where you got the claw and you got the big bag and the money down below and you push the thing? It's like you got the grip on that thing. It's about to drop. And before it gets to the spot where you win the money, it falls. That seems like what's going on with Doc Rivers. Just brief talk about that.
I mean, I heard that statistic that he's blown this deal like 10 times. That's what I heard. The number is 10 times where he's blown a closeout deal. I could be wrong on that, but I thought I heard
8 closeouts and then 2-0 and a 2-1.
Yes. It kind of reminds me of what happened in Nebraska under Scott. How do you go where every single game except one, you lose by one score?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like he's snake bitten. It's like a curse right now. And what Doc needs, man, is I don't know, man. Maybe he needs to take a step or a year or two, get into the analyst booth and just observe the game. I've seen coaches do that, step away. Maybe even, I know he's revered as a mind of the game, but sometimes even a person in that position could take a step back and maybe just go observe somebody who is doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing should be off the table for him. Nothing should be just a whole total different mindset. It's something up. He needs something up. There's something that he's doing, in-game decisions, a mindset. I have heard about in-game decisions that were very poorly managed was part of the problem. But also part of the problem to me, man, is just really part of it is complacency, thinking you got it. There's something going on with Doc where I feel like he needs to take a step back, man. Maybe he just gets like Mark Jackson's done for a year or two and then maybe come back and try it again.
Well said. Well said. Thank you again, Cluster Johnson, for joining us. Great takes as always. We appreciate you and hopefully I'll catch you again sometime down the road after we finish state baseball.
Yes, sir.
All right, there he goes, Cluster Johnson. We have to get out here real quick. We got over to after messages, and we'll turn it over to our guy, Nick Sainert.
Nebraska's favorite vape shop,
Generation V.
providing friendly, personalized service, largest selection of vaporizers and e-liquid flavors in the state.
Generation V.
Generation V will beat or match any local competitor's price. With a huge selection, great service, and the lowest prices, Generation V is your one-stop shop for all your vaping needs.
Generation V.
With 4 Lincoln locations, visit us on the web at generationv.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Vershawn Jackson for Brant Excavating. Brant's been in business for 29 years. And they a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brant is the place to call. Set up or call Brant Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to brantexcavating.com. They're also hiring. So go to our brand who reminds you, oh, big brand.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginning today. Visit nebcoinc.com. ABI.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Cloud cover this morning, even some patchy fog, then becoming partly sunny by this afternoon. We'll see a high of around 74. North winds at around 10. A few passing clouds tonight, a low dropping down to around 50. Mostly sunny and warmer tomorrow. We'll see an afternoon high of 82. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright. 7 The Ticket and the ticketfm.com.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake. The newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery. Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at PremierDW.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon wrap dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon wrap dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between, capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship quarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Jobs.
Hey, CNC machinists, do you feel like you're in a dead-end job with your boss hovering over your shoulder? That's so annoying. Not at Garner Industries. We provide the opportunity and trust our CNC machinists to bring the talent. I'm Bob Williams, HR Director at Garner Industries, and we are looking for new team members in our CNC department. At Garner Industries, you'll work in a clean, climate-controlled, and safe environment with team members who want to see you succeed. You will also enjoy 4-day work weeks, great benefits, and a positive working culture. Interested? Apply on our career page at GarnerIndustries.com.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive selection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbon at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Front and Lounge.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this summer. Check out their new Keen and Tiva brand sandals for hiking and Olukai for sitting by the pool. Plus, they're stocked up on Hey Dudes to catch you up on the latest shoe fashion. They also have shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot interest. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just in you in Lincoln.
Hey, you got any gum?
Yeah, check my backpack.
What's this?
Oh, it's naloxone. It can reverse an opioid overdose. I decided to always keep it on me after my friend almost died. It saved his life.
I'm so sorry. That makes me want to have it with me too.
You totally should. Check the pharmacy. It was actually really easy to get, and it's easy to use.
Definitely will.
Thanks for the Nebraska Broadcasters Association.
Now back to Strick in Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Not much time left here on the block with Austin and Strick for the day. We're going to send you up to Tally Anderson Field in Omaha for state baseball. I believe we have Creighton Prep and Grand Island on tap for you here this afternoon. Nick is out there getting all set up, so we'll go to him in just a minute. But Strick, I do have to ask, who needs Victor Wembanyama the most of all the teams in the lottery?
Wow. I'm going to throw it out and say OKC.
Ooh.
Are they in the lottery?
I don't think they are.
Run it down to me real quick.
Oh, they are. They're fourth low. So it's Detroit, San Antonio, and Houston with the best odds, 14%. Charlotte, Portland, Orlando, Wizards, Pacers, Jazz, Mavs,
Orlando
Thunder.
really needs it. Orlando.
The Spurs need him.
If
Does
they do
Washington
that-
need him?
I mean, I just don't know if that would work with him and Porzingis.
I feel like you ditch Porzingis for Wemby.
Yeah,
maybe
you might. San Antonio, yeah. I'd like to know that Pop was going to be around for a little bit, but
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we're not around for a bit anymore. It's been a great 2 hours. Strick, good to see you. We'll do it again later in the week. We're sending you out to Tal Anderson Field. Class A state baseball on the way next, right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Nebraska's favorite vape shop.
Generation V.
Friendly. VMAX with a Generation V is one-stop shop for all your vaping needs.
Generation V.
With 4 Lincoln locations. Visit us on the web at generationv.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing. 1 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Vershawn Jackson for Brent Excavating. Brent's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of looking for get the job, precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep. Brent is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brent Excavating at 402-474-41.
Dive into good times and great savings when you take advantage of the above